So I moved out of the 1-bedroom apartment, and now I've got this basement space that I'm gonna be building out to be my studio. This area is definitely gonna need a little bit of work before I can totally claim it as a studio space, so let's get working. First order of business is I definitely need some better lighting in here. So I took some inspiration from Slew's studio space and went after these large LED panels. These panels are gonna work great because they're gonna give nice distributed light rather than having some spotlights here and spotlights there with a bunch of different fixtures. Wow, the electrician left a mess. Bang. So the back side of the panel has a little hook here. Thinking of tying a permanent string to this and then draping that over a little eye hook so we can adjust our pitch of the light itself, and then we can tie the ship off with a little bit of a cleat. We got just the bare ceiling here. We'll run 4 of them, where it will be positioned, maybe pitch it down towards standard desk area. But now that we've got the final panel installed, much better. So we got really even lighting coming down on this wall, but come on, that faux wood and the exposed drywall, I don't think that's gonna cut it for us. So I'm gonna go ahead, paint this white, maybe also touch up some of the concrete. We're breaking out the good new rollers and paint brushes for this time around. Home improvement project gets the benefit of the doubt. We got an old tripod here. I'm gonna try and hang it from the ceiling with some eye hooks. Try to get an overhead shot, have the camera here, and then my table just below it. What we basically did, take a couple eyelets, so one on either leg here, and then put a string on this one so it can hang a little bit further out. And then if I lock that in there, you can see we got tension on it now, and then that'll hold it firm. It'll be kind of the inverted use of the tripod, but since we've got 3 hard stops right where the legs normally would, that takes the place of gravity. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, now that we're all mounted up, we gotta do some test shots with a new perspective. I have some vinyl plotted out that I'm gonna do some multi-layups on. Let's use that as a little demo. Kind of given up trying to do multiple layups at the same time. It just really just tends to be so difficult to get your extremes registered. I'm not throwing out a bunch of really good prints and cuts just because I'm trying to speed through it. Then we get the nice satisfaction. What do you think? A little Pantone color hue just to give a little backdrop. And actually over on the far side of the studio there's some existing shelving. This is gonna work great because I think I can just stack up all my inventory over there and have it kind of off to the side. It was kind of funny, when I toured the place, the owner was shocked at how much I was in love with the fact that the basement was unfinished. I can get plenty messy down here, as well as having these shelves off to the side meant I didn't have to go buy a bunch. And believe me, I had totally outgrown the apartment space. All the inventory I had was stacked up behind couches and stuff. Here at least I can see it and grab it as I need it. And I also had this old bookshelf that I think I'll mount over top of my computer area. That way we can throw like markers and little sketchbooks and stuff on top of that. I'm really trying to keep a clean desk space this time around. I'm not sure what to call this colorway. Let me know if you got any suggestions. So in that same vein of keeping my desk space clear, I don't want my plotter and printer constantly cluttering that space up. So I think on the back side of this wall, I'm gonna set up another table so we can actually have those printers and whatnot permanently stationed. It was actually super nice. The shelf was all laid up in my garage, had all the hardware and whatnot ready to go, but just was not installed. So I pulled it down here, fit almost perfectly in this little wall section. And I also set it kind of high so it can almost be like a standing desk area. Because I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm printing and plotting stuff out, I'm going to and from that space constantly. Check it out. It has been a while since I've had the elbow room to really spread out the process here. Definitely mess hall for the time being. We got boxes and boxes of sticker submissions and the startings of a little sticker process facility. What we will be doing is making sure that we got room to fit all the little different components of the setup, front and face value. So we'll get a little area for the plotter, we'll get a little area for the thermals, get a little area for all the computer work, and that way we can make sure we got a nice process flow going on. So this will be a little work in progress. We'll see how the space develops, how the kind of stickers come out, and hopefully we'll get a cool little growth as we get the whole studio built to fit our function. A little collab in the works. Here's my piece, kind of like sunset styling there, and then Kay's did clouded style on the backdrop. We're gonna try and run some of these grayscales, so we'll see how that goes. Need 2 hands to hold this up. Oh yeah. I think well deserving to hit the black book. There we are. Big shouts to Kays. Thanks for hitting the collab with me. Well, it's I don't know, print 50 of them. This area has proved itself so quickly because I'm able to like just grab materials from my inventory side, pack them up into orders for the day, and get them shipped right out. It feels like I'm only ever 10 minutes away from getting a new print run done. Now that we kind of have the skeleton of the studio going, I think it's time for a little decor. There still isn't much color to the space, so I think we better break out the sticker submission boxes and start covering up some of these walls. I wanted to roll out like a paper backdrop for this mural because that means if, you know, when I move out of this place or take the mural down, I can actually transport it and reuse it somewhere else. So this is kind of more or less a wallpaper than a mural in proper. To date, this mural is definitely the biggest eye catch whenever I bring anybody through the studio. They love to take a look at it and then hear the stories about where the stickers came from. They're always totally taken back when I promise that the stickers come from literally all over the world. It's so fun to have a piece of work that you can like step back from and really appreciate, or you can like dive in deep and really just find, you know, one sticker that really stands out to you. I feel like the studio's getting to a good place. Let's go check out the garage and see what we can do up there. Easily the best come up in the recent weeks. Got these little, I think they're like clothing racks, perfectly sized for cans. So they only had 3, got them all, $3 a piece. Best $10 towards the new studio I could ever guess for. So we got 4 by like 20, so we got a space for 180 cans. If we ever fill this up, we know we're doing something right. So that's pretty solid. I know there's one last line is gonna be bane to my eyes. So yeah, maybe go check out your secondhand stores for some old clothing racks, because these worked out perfect. The spacing's like 2.5, 3 inches each. So much smaller than that might be an issue, but perfect in all honesty. And I don't think I'd go much bigger than that because cans will wiggle around a little bit more. All right, rinse, wash, and repeat. Interesting. I've never had the opportunity to display my paint like this. I think it'll be a fun addition to the garage portion of the studio. The weather in Denver can literally be all over the place one day after the other, so I wanted the garage to kind of be that space where I could spray paint or work on stuff all year long and not have to worry about those elements so bad. Nothing was worse than at my old place having to like set up drop cloths and all this stuff to get a little spray paint backdrop on a canvas or something. Here at least I can have a dedicated space that I don't care if there's overspray or anything getting messy. Now that I got the garage set up, I feel like we got to start using it for helping out the studio once again. It's gonna take a while to cover all those white walls, so we best get started now. I pulled out all the stops on this big brick canvas. Started with the real spray paint, then went down to markers for the outlines, more spray paint on top of that, and then cutbacks and little stencil caps and all. Literally used so many different techniques to get this to where it needed to be. Well, it has certainly taken me a little while to grow into this studio space and really start feeling like it's a creative domain. I'm super happy where it is, and it's definitely going to be growing here as we continue. Keep a lookout for the next video where we'll do a proper studio tour. Stay up.